Charlie Brooks was the founding father of UAW Local 444. He was the president until he was shot and killed in his office in 1977. Every year, there's a recipient of an award in his name for the labor movement. This year, Jody Nesbitt. We sat down. Here's part of our conversation.
I feel so honored to be named this year's recipient based on, the past recipients being in the same realm as Gary Parent, Ken Lewenza, Rick Riem, June Muir. I'm very, very honored.
Among great company.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and you grew up in Windsor. You worked as a support staff with Local 444. I'm wondering how you've gotten to know Charlie over the years.
So I wasn't fortunate enough to meet Charlie. However, through working at Local 444 and also working at Green Shield Canada, I've learned so much about Charlie throughout the years and how pivotal he has been to our community in advocating for even at Green Shield the prepaid service. So I'm also fortunate enough to represent as president of Local 240 his son and daughter-in-law, George Brooks and Nikki Brooks.
We're still in the thick of this labor movement. I know we've talked with you over the past couple of years about strikes at Green Shield and Windsor Salt. Do you see yourself as being part of a new generation in the labor movement?
I do. I do in a sense. I feel like 30 years is a long time to be considered a new generation, but I hope that I'm able to be somewhat of a role model like those before me, like the Gary Parents and the Ken Lewenzas have been a role model to me. I'm hoping I can give that back and hopefully have a lot more people come
Yeah,
out.
but don't undersell yourself because you are the only female uniform president in Windsor.
That's true.
You are a trailblazer.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I imagine with that comes some challenges.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What concerns do you have today when you look at the various workplaces you represent?
So some of the concerns is technology in our retail stores. It's the online shopping, and the competitiveness of Amazon's and that. So for our retail sectors, that's where I see, the challenges. And also, I think the challenge to get people involved, that's very difficult because a lot of times until you need to be involved, a lot of people don't understand the importance of being involved in the union.
Being involved in different labor disputes that you have over the years, what's some of the stuff you've learned?
I've learned that it fuels the fire to mobilize members through these strikes. We've been able to see people come together in ways that I've never seen in terms of watching people support one another and stand side by side on picket lines during some of the most difficult times. But watching people come together has been just so inspiring.
I've covered a lot of strikes over the years, and we go to the picket lines, we talk to the workers, they're coming out there every day and picketing. But behind the scenes, what we don't see is people like yourself sitting at those tables having the negotiations. Take us inside that bargaining room. What is happening in there during those times?
We're always trying to get, a deal. That is at the end of the day, that's our goal, is to get a deal and get our members back to work. So, it is a lot of stress because you are weighing, you've got people's lives, on your shoulders. So, it does get very difficult at times. I'm thankful that in my tenure as president, we've had 2 strikes, but for the most part, we have really good relationships with our employers, and we've been able to negotiate good collective agreements. But when both strikes happened, it was very difficult. Mm-hmm. It was very difficult behind the scenes because you also have to still be out and seeing the members and seeing how it's affecting them.
Do you carry the weight of that on your shoulders?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds heavy to you.
Absolutely. That's
But you can't be doing this for 30 years and not be fueled by some type of passion. How did you get into all of this?
so my passion began as a young single mom and recognizing that like the access to childcare, to affordable childcare didn't exist. And it really made it difficult. And I remember just feeling so frustrated and thinking, how can I change this? And, I guess I'll say I worked for a company and we tried to unionize them and they moved to New Brunswick. And I remember Gary Parent allowed me as this young woman to come to Labor Council to speak about not using this organization for business. And I think, that inspired me that you can make change. You can make change.
Yeah, it's inspiring to hear from people like yourself where, sometimes you might grumble or think, oh, like every time I write my check for childcare, I'm like, ugh. But to take that beyond and be sort of the engine of change is exactly what this award's about.
Yes, I'm very honored that I've had the opportunity to use my voice and to be at tables around childcare about intimate partner violence. And I'm very proud of.
And in some way be an inspiration to other young women.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jody. I appreciate this.
Thank you.
Jody Nesbitt is this year's winner of the Charles E. Brooks Labor Community Service Award. She'll receive that award at a ceremony tonight at the Chichero Club in Tecumseh.